Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video, I'm doing a review of the Busy Bee Everyday Diary. So this is a UK planner company. Now, I'd heard of them a few years back because they originally did a disc-bound planner similar to Happy Planner, but they stopped doing that, unfortunately. And also, unfortunately, they do not ship to Australia, so I'd never been able to get my hands on it. So I went to Europe and I was in Slovenia, of all places, and randomly found it in a cute stationery shop. So they have a couple of different styles. There's some hardbound ones. This one's more of like a cardstock with a glue bound, as you can see there. And then they had heaps of different styles, but unfortunately, luggage limit, I could only get one, so I just picked the smallest one. So this one only has weekly spreads, hence why it's so thin, and then a couple of like extra notes pages. But there are tons of other layouts, so definitely have a look at this planner company's website online for all the different varieties that you can pick from. So this one is 5.75 inches wide by about 8.5 inches high, so like typical small, kind of around about A5 page size. Like I said before, it's very thin. It's only about ½ centimeter thick, and it has this thin cardstock cover, which means that it weighs practically nothing. It's so lightweight you could put it in your handbag and not even notice that it's in there. Love this little gold foil on the cover. Now, I tend to steer clear of the glue bound because, as you can see, the pages just want to close on their own unless I hold them open with one hand. I'm sure the more that you use it and the more that you break in the spine, the better it will get. But at the moment, yeah, they just want to close on their own. So at the front is the personal details and useful info. Then we have the dates at a glance calendars. So this one, as you probably already realized, is dated for 2020. It is a full 12-month planner. Now, there is no monthly calendar, but they do have this birthdays overview page, which has a different layout to most that I've seen. It's got two little columns. Now, that writing space is really small. It was probably only about, I reckon, 3 millimeters per line, so you're going to have to write really small. As you can see, like, look at it in relation to my finger. So, yeah, tiny, tiny writing. Probably would have been better if they split this over 4 pages. Then we have a review of the past year. And oddly, the line spacing increases to an appropriate amount. So definitely prefer this line spacing. Wish they would have continued that with the monthly birthdays page. Then we have some goals for the current year with all the different categories. Quite like these ones because they are ones that don't normally appear on goal planning pages. And again, open-ended space, do what you like with it. And then we go into the weekly pages. So it's the same the whole way through. Now, if you follow my blog, you'll know why I wanted this one. I really like planners that have a horizontal one-page weekly on one side and then some lined notes or checklist space on the right. So this layout pretty much ticks all of those boxes with the exception of this kind of annoying little dates at a glance calendar, which is taking up a fair bit of space. However, there isn't a monthly calendar, so it's kind of, I guess, makes sense to have it on the weekly spread then instead. Starts on a Monday. Now, it has a whole bunch of public holidays all around the world. As you can see, that's an Australian one, which doesn't happen very often. And so even though it's a UK planner, it does have, I think I saw some US and Canada ones here as well. Even got Melbourne Cup, New Zealand. So a whole bunch of public holidays. I think I just saw an Irish one. Anyway, you get the idea. Lots of countries printed on here, so you could pretty much live anywhere in the world. Kind of doesn't really make sense that they would do that though when they don't ship to Australia, so hopefully they've changed that since I last checked. So these weeklies continue the whole way through, and then at the back there's a couple of extra pages. As you can see, it's kind of awkward because the pages just want to close on their own. There's no built-in ribbon bookmark with this one, so you will have to just use like the week numbers as your guide to find where you're up to. If we go to the very back, it's got this year planner for the next year, some key dates, so kind of like a monthly overview. If you didn't need this for 2021, you could use this for 2020, because you know how that other page that I showed you was really small line spacing. If you needed more room, you could always just use this one for 2020 and just wipe that out. We've got some goals for the next year, expenses log. Quite a few of these pages. If you still want to do this on paper, I personally prefer to do it in Excel, but if you want to do it in paper, it's going to be right there with your planner, which is very convenient. And then they have these lines pages at the back, which they've labeled travel plans, but it's really only in the title, so you could just ignore that and then just use the notes page for whatever you want to do. There's also a contacts one. If I flick to that in a minute, there's the contacts one. And then at the very back, There's a website, so if you want to do your favorite websites list or your password logins, and then just some that say notes. So use that however you want. And then at the back there is no pocket folder, it just ends with the back cover that has this elastic band to keep everything enclosed. So if you don't like this layout from the company, make sure you have a look at their website because they do have other ones. I really wanted to get the categories layouts. You know how you have maybe like 5 categories and then it's got boxes across the page. I might link it below just so you know what I'm talking about, because I also like categories planners, and this one is one of the better ones that I have seen, and they've got lots of different styles. So anyway, have a look online, and that's it for this one. I will be doing a pen test. The link will be in the description box below down there, and don't forget to subscribe. I usually post a couple of planner review videos each week. This is just one of about 20 planners and doc grid notebooks that I found on my last trip to Europe, and the reviews for all of those will be posted shortly on my YouTube channel. So again, another reason to subscribe. See you in the next one.